My hand's always messed up. What's up, people? Haven't been on here in a while. So I gotta read y'all something that I just found out by the United States Superior Court. It's posting videos of First Amendment right on the internet. Check this out.
Recognize that the First Amendment.
No person in the United States of America,
playing, posting, or
listen carefully,
a film would be a form of constitutionally protected speech.
No person in the United States can be charged for disorderly conduct for posting any videos on the internet like they did to me, this DA. It says here, the First Amendment protects many forms of expression, activity, and speech. Recognize that the First Amendment protects films, a form of expression by the login of other cases. Playing, posting, distributing a film would be a form of constitutional protection speech. So I got charged fighting this case now. I'm about to go to trial pretty soon. Fighting this case in where my divorce was at in Minnesota. And I got to subpoena people. They tell me to send them a subpoena and they'll fly out and help deal with this stuff, right? So anyway, this motherfucker, this racist fool, which all of this is straight discrimination, hate, violation of my 14th Amendment, my 7th, my 6th. I mean, it goes on and on, man. It goes on and on. Discrimination, racial profiling, and hate. All right. So I was looking up every case in the state of Minnesota and under disorderly conduct. It says about being drunk in public, which I don't drink or mess with drugs, never did, never will. Arguing in public, which I never did, never will. You know, all of the other stupid stuff. It has nothing in there for disorderly conduct about posting a video. This guy, this white DA or prosecutor, whatever you want to call him, they're all in cahoots. They're all in conspiracy with the judge. They go to lunch. They go to each other's kids' birthdays, parties. They go out, etc., etc. This prosecutor. So he charges me with a threat, which was never there. I pulled up my complaint that I filed against the judge, and it states in there that I will be filing a lawsuit for violation of my constitutional rights under the Disability Act, ADA Act, okay, for discrimination, bias, allowing, listen carefully, she knew 1,000%. She knew everything that was being said was fraud, perjury to the courts. And she knew that everything that they posted, that they handed her in paperwork was also fraud and perjury. She knew this, 1,000%. She knew this. This judge knew this. And so on January 3rd, 2023, there was a big snowstorm in Minnesota, huge snowstorm. And all of the courts closed down. Attorney Terry Watkins, his court cases, he's an attorney, his court cases were canceled. This other lady attorney that deals with the courthouse that I go to, her cases were all canceled in that courthouse with the same judge that I filed a complaint against. Her cases were all, every case, every court in the state of Minnesota was shut down. Every court was shut down on January 3rd, 2023 from the snowstorm. Big snowstorm. Where I live at is a place called, where I go out is out there in a place called Gibbons. The snow, I got stuck in the snow. My appointment was at 1 o'clock. I was denied for a rehearing to reschedule my hearing because the courts were closed. Literally, the courts were closed. Okay. Other attorneys I spoke with, they gave me statements and everything. The courts were closed. A lot of murder cases was canceled. People getting ready for trial, those cases were canceled. All of those cases were canceled. So anyway, this other judge, turned around and made a ruling without me in court, which is against the law, without me having a right to present my affidavit that I filed, that everything that my ex-wife said and her was perjury. Not one time did they get smacked with perjury or anything. Not one time. Not one time, you know. And that just shows you, because she's Korean and he's white. Now, if the tables were reversed, I would have got action. But you do not get no action in no courts if you look black and if you're not pure white in the state of Minnesota. That's discrimination. Violation of every constitutional rights that protects me by federal laws and constitutional rights under state laws. So this guy, because I cursed him out on video, he says disorderly conduct. So we're looking through every case about disorderly conduct. You cannot find that one case. So I'll be the first case in the state of Minnesota, disorderly conduct, because of what I said on a video. And I posted on a video. Isn't that amazing? How crooked and conspiracy that they do in the courthouses. Now, mind you, I asked for another court date. I was denied by the court clerk because the judge said, these are her words from the court clerk. These were her words. He's not postponing nothing. He's not giving you another court date for the hearing that the motion you filed. He's not giving you another court date for your affidavit. In federal law, state law, an affidavit has to be heard, period. You cannot ignore an affidavit. An affidavit is a sworn statement signed. You sign the affidavit in front of a notary. It's signed, it's logged in, and everything else. My affidavit is still sitting in that courthouse with no hearing because the courts refuse, by law, refuse to give me a court hearing. The courts refuse to give me a court hearing on my affidavit. They granted the motion, denied my motion, and granted her, my ex-attorney's motion, which that original attorney was removed because they knew, and he knew, and she knew they committed perjury. So she was removed, he was removed off the case, and some other partner of the attorney's firm came, but we got something for them. We suing them. I'm suing them. I'm suing them in federal court. I'm taking them straight to court, man. This law firm, straight to court, because I don't give a damn who you are, what you are. You cannot, by federal laws, commit perjury on record and submit fraud documents to the courts. Now, this guy says in the constitutional rights, it states, quote unquote, you have to send a summary to an individual. You have to, on a felony case, you have to bring it to a grand jury. There's no ifs and no buts. The hell with what they say when they try to rewrite the Constitution, that doesn't mean nothing. What the constitutional rights means is 1776, which it states Congress shall not override, overwritten, or change the constitutions. Congress does not have the authority to change or rewrite the constitutional rights. Congress does not have that right. It's in the Constitution. 1776, Congress has no right to change the constitutional rights on anything, not freedom of speech, not the Second Amendment. You got the right to bear arms. They cannot change that whatsoever. It says it in the original Constitution rights. It says it in the original. So this guy, he charges me with, what I'm trying to figure out, I'm saying disorderly conduct. Where is the disorderly conduct coming from? Two misdemeanors, disorderly conduct, which get thrown out of court. So I'm ready to fight now in trial again. I'm ready to fight, you know, and it's going to be very interesting because I'm not going to let them violate my constitutional rights no more, man. The divorce judge did. She violated every one of my constitutional rights. This judge I've never seen, he violated my constitutional rights. I have a right to be in court. I have a right to present my case. I have a right to cross-examine witnesses. I have a right. Them witnesses got to get on that witness stand and put up their hand. I got the right to cross-examine every witness. No video or that shit, none of that. I have a right for them to be in that courtroom and cross-examine each and every witness. That's my constitutional rights. So, we filed a motion for dismissal. I haven't heard nothing yet, but it's not going to get dismissed because why? Because of discrimination. That's why. Discrimination, hate, extortion. They set me up. Conspiracy, the works. So the private investigator found out that the DA, prosecutor, goes out, knows the judge that handled my divorce. Well, first of all, they all know everybody in that courthouse. That's number one. Number two, not one person in that courthouse. See, this is what it says about the Secretary of State of Minnesota. Sent the letter out there about what is the procedures to get a copy of somebody's bond. They oath of office. And the Secretary of State sent me a letter back and stated that I have a right to request a copy of their oath of office. Verbally, they have 5 business days to send me a copy of the oath of office. By letter, they have 10 business days. I requested it by person several times from the court clerks to the judge, never got no response back. And I explained that to the Secretary of State. They refused to give me a copy of the oath of office that they took because in the United States and by the laws that are governed by the Secretary of State of each state, every jurisdiction, every judge, every police officer, every sheriff, every deputy, every court clerk has to have on file with the Secretary of the State an oath of office. And you put a lien, you put a tort against their bond for violating your constitutional rights. You put a tort against their bond for violating your constitutional rights. If it's for the police, it's the city. For the sheriffs or deputies, it's the county. You put a tort against their bond. You put a tort against their bond. They have to, once you ask them for their oath of office, a copy of their oath of office, they have to give it to you. And if they are working in a courthouse or sitting on a bench and they do not have an oath in office, every ruling they ever made is void and they can go to jail. They have to be, that's what it says. It's in the Secretary of State's response back to me, if they are in any courthouse in the state of Minnesota operating without an oath of office on file, we will investigate this and they will be removed immediately. So anything that they signed on the court records is void. Is void. No ifs and no buts, is void. You cannot be a clerk in the courts without an oath in office that you signed. You can't be a judge. You can't be a bailiff. You can't be nothing. That's how you get these people. That's how you sue them. You sue them for violation of the oath of office, then you get them with violation of the constitutional rights. And that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. So we're looking at this here. Wait a minute. Where did this disorderly conduct come from, man? And it says in the laws about disorderly conduct means, matter of fact, I'll pull it up too. It says right here about disorderly conduct in the state of Minnesota. What is that law? It says here, disorderly conduct is, what is disorderly conduct in law in Minnesota? The law prohibits the following kind of behavior: disorderly conduct: fighting, distributing a lawful assembly or meeting, just being offensive, noisy, abusive, or using offenses or obstruction language, which there's no such thing on my First Amendment rights. First of all, you can say whatever you want to say because nobody can penalize you or put you in jail for saying what you want to say. See? And that's the problem here. They think I'm going to lay down and take this. No, I'm going to fight this all the way. I don't give a damn no more, man. I could say what I want to say. The United States Superior Court ruled about freedom of speech and freedom of the press. You can curse anybody out you want. You can post whatever you want. You cannot post no child pictures of the same thing a lot of these no good women post on the internet all over, dirty pictures and stuff. You can't do that. That I understand. That's what they should be going after. Those people should be going after those idiots that post all of those nude pictures of all of them women. See, women don't need no respect because they don't have respect for themselves. They don't have no respect for themselves. Women don't need no respect. They don't have no respect for themselves. Women talk so much about their rights, and they want respect, but yet the same women that's talking that got their X-rated videos all over the internet, dirty pictures of themselves, butt naked and everything else. They don't deserve no respect. Any so-called woman that puts her face, her body on the internet does not deserve no respect. She's a dog. She's a dog. She's a dog. She's a dog. What does it say about when the constitutional rights if you get arrested? She's a dog. She's a dog. Which protection of rights do you have when you're arrested? A suspect arrested without a warrant is eligible to trial. Okay? Constitutional rights. This is the first 1776 constitutional rights. Okay? Protects you under the 4th Amendment, the 14th Amendment. Any person who is suspicion of a felony, any person is charged with a felony is protected under the 14th Amendment. So you see, the hell with what they say, they got 48 hours of blase to get you in front of it. No. That's not what the Constitutional rights says. Constitutional rights overrule all of their bullshit. It overrides all of their bullshit. The Constitutional rights, 1776 overrides all of that because everything they got in there in the state constitutional rights is unconstitutional. You have to immediately get in front of a judge. You immediately get in front of a judge. That's what it says. As soon as you're arrested, you got to be immediately in front of a magistrate, in front of a judge. No ifs and no buts. No ifs and no buts. Before anything is taken to, any felony that you're being charged with has to go straight to the grand jury. Straight to the grand jury. Any felony that you're being charged with has to go in front of a grand jury. But before they can even charge you, they got to send you a summons to appear in court to answer to the charges. That's number one. They didn't do that to me. Them motherfuckers just issue a warrant for my arrest. Just issue a warrant for my arrest. No investigation, no nothing. No nothing. Then on my I got the recordings when I called this deputy that just kept leaving me messages, got the recording. So when I called their office twice. And he wasn't in. But they said they relayed a message to him, some lady, right? I said, well, yeah, I'm such and such. And he left me a message on my phone. You want to talk to me, man? Well, give me a time and date and I'll be down there with my attorney. You know, I told him straight out. Twice. Called him twice. He never once returned my call. Never once returned my call. I still got the recording message when I called him, the day I called him, the time I called him, and everything. Not once did he return my call. Not once did he return my call. I was in California, and the time is different, 3 hours difference, right? So when I called out here, It was plenty of time for him to return my call twice. It was way before 3 o'clock in Minnesota. Twice I called him. You left me a message. You want to talk, man? What's going on? So I told the lady, excuse me, I told the lady that answered the phone. I said, well, look, man, I don't talk to no pigs without my attorney. So I've been trying to call this man and he's not answering his phone. So you got my number. Tell him he could call me. Just give me a date and time and I'll be down there with my attorney. That's the message I left. But they never called me. So then they put a warrant out for my arrest. Threats, which never threatened nobody because I don't threaten nobody. And disorderly conduct. There's no such thing as disorderly conduct when you put a video on. That's my First Amendment right. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of expression. That's what my constitutional right said. That's what even the United States Superior Court in Washington, D.C. said. I got a right to express myself and everything else. I have that right. So now this goes into conspiracy, hate crime, discrimination, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Let's see what it says here about conspiracy. Conspiracy, is that federal or state laws?
According to federal law enforcement training centers, specific federal anti-conspiracy statutes are found throughout federal law. State statutes also contain anti-conspiracy laws.
Conspiracy. What is conspiracy?
Here's the definition of conspiracy: a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful.
See, special group to do something unlawful and unharmful. Let me see. It went from this person that keeps calling the police on me all the time, and that's also hate. She committed not only perjury on police reports. My ex-wife was living with her all the way into November of 2020. The second week of November, she moved out. What's his name? His little daughter always called her Mama Mimi, or whatever it was, called her a name while she was living there with what's his name's ex-wife. She lied to the courts and said she never saw my wife from 2012 to 2013, which was a total bogus lie. Which is when you sign your name on there, you sign under penalty of perjury, and that's what she did. She signed her name under penalty of perjury. She made a bogus police report and everything else. She contacted the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department didn't want nothing to do with it, so she contacted another sheriff's department, and they claimed they investigated it. They didn't investigate the goddamn thing. Because if they investigated anything, they would have known, you know what? This man got freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of expression. We're not going to violate this man's right. She even went to the courthouse one time in Faribault, Minnesota, to try to get a restraining order out on me and her ex-husband, right? She was denied that in the Faribault courts because they said there's no law he broke. Showed the same videos. There's no law that he broke. He could say whatever the hell he want to say. He didn't break no laws, and I didn't. So then she goes to a place called Steele County, and that stupid drunk judge, she was drunk, dude. She kept falling out of the seat on the video camera. She kept falling out of the seat. Her glasses was crooked. Her hair was all messed up. She kept falling out of the seat. Okay, she kept falling out of the seat. Judge wasn't even in the courtroom. See, that was a problem with COVID-19. They had a lot of these judges doing all of this illegal stuff by video, which should be totally against the law, because that violates every one of your constitutional rights whatsoever. Because things get missing, you can't find the records. The record's been destroyed or misplaced. You know, everything that should be against the law. There should be no courts whatsoever to allow any kind of video recording. There should be no courts, because they slowly trying to push away every one of our constitutional rights about being in court. So anyway, she goes to a different county to get a restraining order, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, I don't even know nothing about this county. You know, how can a person go to another county and get a restraining order for someone that lives in somewhere else and not even bothering these individuals? You know, and my ex-wife, she on 5/7/2020, she was at my residence on video, helping my ex-wife pack with her daughter, putting stuff in her car, in her truck, and in my wife's car with the help of the deputies, was moving her out, right? On 5/7/2020. She moved in, my ex-wife moved in with her, and she told the court that she has never seen my wife since 2012 to 13. On November 2019, she calls our residence. I picked the phone up. She called the residence. She said she wanted to speak to my wife. Gave my wife the phone. My wife said, well, we're going to go out to drink. I said, okay. All right. Just be careful, you know. 2019. It's 2019. And she put signed signature. She had not seen or heard from my wife since 2012 or 2013. When she was going out drinking with my wife was going out over to her place drinking. Come back, wife drunk, hits the car on the side of the garage. I was shocked that she didn't go to jail for drunk driving, but I forgot she's a woman. She's Korean. She can't go to jail for drunk driving. She can't go to jail for trying to kill me. Nothing. As there's even laws about when a person doesn't tell you that they got AIDS. There's laws about that, but it's not for the women. It's only for the men in the state of Minnesota. In California, they don't give a fuck you a woman or a man. You're going to jail. If you do not disclose to that individual that you got HIV, AIDS, you're going to jail. California, you going to jail. There's no ifs and no buts, you know? So you committed attempted murder on my life, and not one charge was filed on you. Not one charge was filed on you when they ordered the charges to be filed on you in another county, because I had to go to that hospital. That was the only place I knew how to get to real fast. And you say you never got the police report, but yet it says it right here. Got the copy of the police report and everything. All reports and videos, recordings, pictures were sent and faxed to the Sheriff's Department of Faribault, Minnesota. Statements from the doctors, statements from the CDC, everything was faxed to the Sheriff's Office in Faribault, Minnesota. But they said they never got nothing. So what did they do? They tried to charge me with a bullshit case, domestic violence. Never put my hands on any woman in my life. Not once have I ever put my hands on any woman or child. I'm a man. Some people that do that are not men. They punks. This individual, January 3rd, I got stuck in snow. I was leaving the house at 11, got out the door, got on the driveway at 11:15, 11:20, got stuck on Highway 19 from the snow. It snowed real bad. The snow was so high over here and windy. Oh, it gets like 30 to 40 to 60 miles an hour winds over here. In Gibbons, over in Gibbons, I think it's called. Well, over there, it gets 30 to 40, 45 to 60 miles per hour winds. And that day, the snow was up to the door. Okay, the snow was up to the door. I had a hard time even getting out the door. The snow was up to the door. And those big trucks wasn't moving no snow. You didn't see nothing out there. They got these things out there where they got these emergency arms that come down. When your visibility is bad, you can't go on that road, right? And those things were down. You couldn't see nothing out there. You couldn't see nothing. I got stuck, and the clerk calls me I said, look, I'm trying to get out of the snow. I got stuck, you know? And so then I don't got time for this. I'm trying to get there. They're going to have to postpone. Judge said he's not postponing because he's not coming in. Oh, okay, so you're not going to give me a new court date? No. All right. Now, that was from the clerk. So the judge said he's not postponing or giving me another court date, which by law, he violated my constitutional rights and deprived me. He deprived me my privilege. He deprived me my right to be in court. He deprived me of that. So anyway, they dropped me off because my car my car was stuck. I got dropped off by these people, man. They helped me out and stuff. And he said, you know what, dude, man, we bring you your car. I said, I ain't got no money, man. I got maybe $20 at the house, man. I can give you that. He said, don't even worry about it, man. You know, don't even worry about it. So he brought my car hours later, and it was night. And he helped me dig out all of the snow from under it and stuff because it wouldn't start. And he said, wait till tomorrow and try it tomorrow, man. You know, and so I waited till the next day, which was the 4th. And my phone went dead. My phone went completely dead. I didn't have a charger in the car. My phone went dead. So I went to go plug my phone up, and it takes about an hour for the phone to charge. My phone to charge about an hour. And all of a sudden, when I turned it on, I get all of these beep messages, you know, voicemail, voicemail, voicemail. Yeah, 4 voicemails, 4 voicemails. So this is what the courts did. Courts is calling my phone, and it goes to voicemail, and they keep talking. They keep talking like I picked up the phone. And they talk so loud so you don't hear the beep, but you do hear the beep if you turn up the volume on my phone. You hear, please leave a message, beep. And then they keep talking and talking, try to talk over the beep. When they know they're talking to a recording, they know this. This is the tricks and the conspiracy that the courthouse clerks do at the Gaylord Courthouse. This is what they do. The clerks, I'm suing too. That's what the clerks do at the courthouse over there. Every paper I had to file with the courts, they would not accept. They said it had to sit there and wait until the judge decided to let me file it or not. No, 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 no. United States Superior Court rule, once you hand that clerk something, she has to file it and stamp it right then and there. Not when you decide to, not when no judge says it's okay. That's a bunch of bull. You violated my rights under the color of law, 1983. You violated my rights to access to every court document, every file that I can file. You violated my constitutional rights under the Discrimination Act, ADA. You violated my constitutional rights by telling me I don't have a right to sue when I do. I'll even show that to you in the fucking Constitution right. In the Constitution rights, what does it say that you got a right to sue? Does the constitutional rights give you the right to sue someone?
According to Justia, section
Section 1983, 42 USC, Section 1983 is a federal law that allows citizens to sue. They allow us to sue. They allow us to bring lawsuits for violation of our rights confirmed by the U.S. Constitution or federal laws. Section 1983 provides the right privilege of access to state or federal courts. See, have the right of access to state or federal courts. Constitutional rights. Constitutional rights. I got a right by 1983 U.S. constitutional right to sue any citizen, even to bring a lawsuit against a federal judge, state judge, or whatever. I have that constitutional rights when they violate. See, you could sue a judge, you could sue anybody. When you sue a judge, they're not going to give you a copy of their bond. They want to play the little games and stuff, right? So you put in there, since I know that I'll be refused a copy of your bond, your oath of office, I'm putting a torque against your bond for your oath of office. You can put a torque against their bond for the oath of office. You see, and that's how you get them. That's how you get them, you know. And we have a right to access, and they deny me court access. They deny me to sue. They deny me this. They deny me fee waivers when they had to have a probable cause by law to deny any individual a fee waiver. The divorce judge let her clean out the account. What was so funny about my divorce and so crazy was this here. The bank statement shows when the judge asked me, was any of those my credit card numbers? I said, no. Those are her credit card number. Here's my card. Here's my card. Here's my Wells Fargo card. Here is my card. This is my number here. You do not see my number nowhere on there. She paid off every one of her credit card bills, credit cards I never knew that she had. And the judge allowed her to take every dime. So they throw in my face, the judge throws in my face, this is some kind of state about divorce, non-fault state. You violated every laws in the United States Constitution. Discrimination, discriminate because I'm disabled. You violated every federal laws that you could think of. You shouldn't even be. Every one of them should be in prison. Every one of them should be in prison. False charges, false police reports. See, judges go by police reports, which they shouldn't, because a judge is a human being. Everybody is a human being. The constitutional rights, and even under common law, which that's where they get their laws from, that and the Black Law Dictionary, which is very awesome. You got 5 editors of the Black Law Dictionary. All men are created equal. This person doesn't have more rights than I do. Then that's depriving me of my constitutional rights, depriving me of my right, freedom, liberty, and enjoyment of life. That's what that judge did in my divorce. She deprived me of every damn legal right that I had. Every legal right that I have, she deprived me of. Yeah, we asked for transcripts for my divorce. You got to pay for them. No, I don't. So when I got the letter that I got to pay for them, that's all I wanted was that right there. I'm not going to ask no more. I want everything in writing. Because as soon as you sent that letter to me, you violated not only state, you violated federal laws, you violated the United States Superior Court rules and regulations. You violated every rule and regulation. Like I give you an example. When I filed my appeal, the appellate court claims that they sent a copy to the courthouse, right? Well, if they sent a copy to the courthouse, those individuals, and I would have got a copy. Okay? The appeal court stated in Minnesota, he has a right for all fee waivers to be waived, for the marshals or sheriffs to serve the individuals, all copies he has a right to. He has a right to a court date. He has a right to file his lawsuit. That's what the appellate court, that's what the appeals court in Minnesota said on my case. That's what they said. And they didn't give a damn about what the appeals court in Minnesota said. They didn't give a damn thing about what them judges said. They didn't give a hell bit what the appeal court said in that courthouse. Not one bit. So let me see. Now it's amazing how, like this other judge in a place called Steele, I think it was Steele, whatever, where this person filed this bogus restraining order. She didn't give a damn about what the divorce judge said. She said, the hell with that bitch. I don't care what that judge says. That judge's orders don't mean nothing to me. Her orders don't mean a damn thing to me. So I guess those two judges don't like each other, I found out. They can't stand each other. You know, those two women judges can't stand each other. You know, I'm talking about literally they can't stand each other. That's what I was told. You know, I asked the deputy about that. I said, well, how can she say the hell what this judge's court orders are? And she ignoring another judge's court orders. No judge can do that. But yet all 3 of these judges should be removed. Period. They violated every constitutional rights in the book, from state and federal, you know. And as we're looking through the police reports that these so-called deputies said, on my camera, it shows a deputy at the door while I was out of town, you know, and it showed another deputy's car, but it didn't show the person coming in. So they say they tried to contact me numerous times. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I got every call on my phone, go straight to recording the time, the date, and everything when you call my phone. Every call I send out is being recorded. Every call I make is being recorded. So you didn't call my damn phone. I don't know whose number you called, but you didn't contact me. So they put in there, they tried to reach me, but was unable to reach me. I'm like, let me see here, man. This one guy left a message. That was the only message that was on my answering machine. I returned the call, spoke with the lady, said, look, this guy is calling me. What's going on? Could you tell him I'm out of town? So what's this about? And so then when she explained it to me, I said, oh, I don't talk to pigs. Just tell him to call me, make an appointment, give me a date and time, and I'll be there with my attorney. That's what I said. And I got that right. See, we got the right not to talk to them. I already contacted him. So why are you going to put in your police report, you haven't heard from me or nothing? You committed perjury. And don't say that you can't get locked up for perjury, because you can get locked up for perjury. All over the United States, deputies are getting locked up for perjury, falsified police reports like y'all did, all over the United States. All over the United States, And so the case that they got against me is violation of my constitutional rights, First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of expression. That's what I'm fighting for now. That's what I'm fighting right now. You falsely, in my thing, it's attempted murder on my life. You see how deputies are killing African Americans, Spanish. You put a false felony warrant out for my arrest for threats when there was no threats. This is all retaliation and hate. I filed a complaint against the judge that was handling my divorce. Her supervisor said, you know what, to hell with him. This is what you give him to keep his mouth shut. Retaliation. And it says no judge can retaliate when you file a complaint against them. But she retaliated against me. Now this falls into the federal laws. It's no more state laws. This case for violation of my constitutional rights go into federal court. And that's where this case is going, straight to federal court. It ain't staying out there in that fucking racist ass courthouse. Hell no. Them are some racist motherfuckers. Man, I was sitting out there one day, and this African American guy had an attorney, right? And the judge, the same divorce judge I had, was grilling him, but yet the person he's trying to get away from, his wife or whatever, she's trying to get him fired all the time. She's calling his job and everything else. And he went through hell just for that judge and his attorney to get what he wanted. He went through hell. Yes, he did. He went through hell in her courtroom. He went through hell. And the attorney he had was a white lady. And he was African American. And he's going through hell as his attorney is telling her she has cleaned out the bank accounts on this man. She keeps calling his job. She keeps trying to have him arrested. And it's the same thing that was happening to me. See, I filed a divorce against my wife. I didn't want it no more. I didn't want it no more. I didn't want her lies. I didn't want her abuse no more. I don't want it no more. Attorney Terry Watkins told me, you're the first person I ever seen that never violated a restraining order. That means you don't even want to be bothered with this woman no more. No, she was calling me and everything else. I was calling down to the office where they put the restraining orders out. Y'all got to tell her to leave me the fuck alone. Stop following me and stuff. They was following me and everything. No report was ever done. So when that deputy took my $200 on 5/7/2020, in front of me, took my wallet out of my pocket, put my $200 in his pocket, while he called me the N-word, while I was in cuffs. Yeah. So this other deputy that did his so-called investigation, which was nothing, because he didn't do no investigation whatsoever. Because if he did, he know I got the right to say what I want to say. I have that right. So let me ask these idiots this here. So when the police and deputies threaten us, is that a threat? Do they got a right to threaten us? Do they got a right to pull their guns out on us? No, not under the 14th Amendment. Any officer, any deputy pulls out a gun and points it at you, violation of your 14th Amendment rights. That's a straight violation of your 14th Amendment rights. There's no reason for no pigs, cops, sheriff, deputies to pull out no guns on a traffic stop. There's no law in the United States of America that says they got a right, because then they violated your 14th Amendment right. It says it right there. It says it in the Constitution. That's a violation of the 14th Amendment right. And this dude, this white guy, filed a bogus warrant without a summary to appear. No, didn't even do a summary to appear. You know why he did the warrant? Because of my nationality, discrimination. Did he ever talk to me? Nah. And you see, the funny thing, they know this. They know that they're in violation of my constitutional rights. So they put up their threats. I didn't threaten nobody. I don't threaten nobody. I'm old school, man. I'm old school. I don't threaten nobody. I'm old school. But I hate Minnesota with passion. I can't stand Minnesota. Minnesota is the disgustingest state in the world, in the United States. Every one of these racist Ku Klux Klan motherfuckers are in Minnesota. You know, Minnesota is the grossest state in the United States. And that's the bottom line, man. That's the bottom line. Minnesota is the grossest state in the United States. And it's pitiful that they do not follow the constitutional rights and the state constitutional rights. The United States Superior Court ruled you have a right to defend yourself. You have a right to defend yourself once any pig, cop, deputy, sheriff, whatever you want to call them, put their hands on you. You got the right to defend yourself. You have that right, you know? And they have no right to pull their guns out, man. They have no right to be pulling their guns out on anybody. That's in violation of your 14th Amendment, man. That's attempted murder. That's what's in my federal lawsuit right now that we're working on. This guy did attempted murder on my life. He put me as a dangerous man because of freedom of speech. So now I'm waiting to go to trial, man. We're getting everything together and stuff, you know. All of my YouTube videos will be shown in trial. My trial is going to take about 2-3 months because I got people coming from different states and people coming from certain areas of freedom of speech, freedom of the press, on the internet and everything out. Even YouTube said, dude, you did not violate no freedom of speech, freedom of the press. So where's these people coming from, man? Look at their color, their skin. They white. Look at the color of me. What does that tell you? Yeah. Disorderly conduct, 2 disorderly conducts, but there's no such thing as disorderly conduct, freedom of speech. There's no such thing as disorderly conduct what you put on the internet. None whatsoever. I don't drink. I wasn't fighting out there. None of that. Those are false charges. False charges. False charges that they put on me. False charges. False charges. False charges. And this got to stop, man. This prosecutor has to be prosecuted. He has to lose his job. He is not protected when you file false charges, when you violate when they violate your constitutional rights, and the Superior Court already ruled, when a judge or prosecutor violates your constitutional rights, you have the right to sue them. You have the right to bring action against any government. That's your constitutional rights. For harm, you have that constitutional right. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Look it up. Look it up. It says it right there. 1983, you got the right to sue any government official, and they are all in state, local, and federal. You have the right to sue. You have the right to sue for violation. You have the right to sue, the First Amendment right to petition the government for grievances, and including a right of court access. Once those rights are violated, they violated the federal laws. They denied me lawsuits because I was a guy. They gave special treatment to my ex-wife because she's a woman. They deprived me. They deprived me. Life, liberty, freedom, and protection. They deprived me of that. It's all in the records. So I guess they're going to try to burn all the records or destroy all the records. I want them to do that because then they're going to jail. There's not going to be no federal judge in the world of the United States that's going to hold, that will not hold them accountable when all of those records are destroyed. You know, there's no judge in the federal system that's going to let them get away with that. So I want them to destroy the records. That's what we want. We want them to destroy the records. Already some parts is missing from my divorce. And I complained about that. I said, look, this wasn't said. This is what was said. I had my recording on in the courtroom. I got the right under the Disability Act. I got a right to record everything I say in the courthouse. I have that constitutional right under the Disability Act. I have that right to record everything in the courthouse. That's what shocked me. I had to listen to it again when the judge looked at my ex and she asked her again, do you pay rent? Because you have on your paperwork, you pay $1,000 a month rent. She sat in front of the judge with a big smile on her face, a grin, and said, no, Your Honor, I don't pay rent right now. Right then and there. That statement right there, when she put on paper that she pays $1,000 in rent, right then and there, that judge was supposed to take her into custody and that attorney and charge them both with perjury. Right then and there, they were supposed to be charged with perjury. Felony perjury because you signed the document under oath of office. I mean, you swore to this document. You put your hand up in that courtroom and you swore everything you said would be the truth. Nothing but the truth to help you guys. Right then and there, that judge was supposed to put her ass and his ass in jail for perjury. So, listen carefully, people. Going to Melillo versus Melillo. If you ever get charged with perjury, look up my case. They didn't do it to my ex-wife and her attorney. They can't do it to you. So when you say, when you got your hand up there, don't come back with perjury because the state of Minnesota courthouse loves perjury from women, from their attorneys. They love the conspiracy. They love the false documents, false representation. They love that in the state of Minnesota. The judges love perjury. They let them get away with it. The judges love when you commit perjury because it's not against you. It's against whoever you're divorcing. If they commit perjury, they'll be charged. If you're a criminal, you commit perjury, you'll be charged. But not if they commit perjury. They can commit perjury. They can submit false documents to the courts. Those are the laws in the state of Minnesota. The women in Minnesota can kill you, get away with it. They don't have to tell you if they got AIDS. They don't have to tell you if they've been a prostitute. They don't have to tell you that they run drugs. They don't have to tell you nothing. They don't have to tell you nothing. They can abuse the system, and they have. See, now I'm going after the state of Minnesota. I'm going after the whole state of Minnesota for violation of my constitutional rights, for allowing women to abuse the system on restraining orders. For allowing women to abuse the system for restraining orders. Each individual that put a restraining order out on me had money. They could have paid for their restraining orders. I went through hell just to get a fucking restraining order. And there's another thing, what is so funny. The state of Minnesota was already sued before by the UCLA about that, and I think it was 2020 or maybe 2019. And they made an agreement with the UCLA, whatever the hell you want to call them, those house people, that they'll look at when people file restraining orders. They made a deal where under domestic violence, then they both should be arrested, not just one party. Then both should be arrested, not one party. Okay? Not one party. And she falsified about being domestic violence on her. Never hit my wife in 19 years of marriage. Never once ever laid my hands on her. I don't lay my hands on women. I'm a man. I'm not a punk. I'm not a guy. I'm a man, you know. And it's funny, but yet I pulled up a lot of reports. We got into a system, and we was trying to make a system to figure out how can we find out about these deputies that's writing these reports, you know? So we found out what to do, and we did it. And it's kind of ironic. Each deputy that claimed that they investigated something or talked to me shouldn't even be carrying a gun. They got more domestic violence against them than anybody I've ever seen in my life. Drunk driving, alcohol, motherfuckers, man. They have this one report that we found, somebody found for us, was that this two deputies that if you leave me, they put their gun to their girlfriends or their wives, or their significant others. They put their gun to their mouth, and they said, if you leave me, this is what you get. Yeah. This deputy did that. That's on one of the reports we found out. And in Faribault, man, they got a lot of deputies out there, man, that attacks women and everything else. I never forget. It was at a Walmart one time, and it was in Faribault, and I think it was 2008 when we went out there. I think it was 2008. There was a police officer that beat the hell out of his woman that worked at the Walmart. Literally. And everybody's looking at this, and he was a cop. He had his uniform on and everything. And he beating the hell out of her, man. He was literally beating that woman's butt down like she was a dog. Well, some women are dogs. But yeah, she was. And then, I don't remember her name, but she worked at Walmart. Because at that time, my ex-wife worked at that Walmart, and then I told her, "Why are you working at this nasty place for, man? Get the hell out of there, man. You don't need to work there, you know." And then a couple of days later, she contacted my ex-wife and says, "You think you and your husband can help me?" And I said, "Oh, I'll help you, because one thing I can't stand is no motherfucking punk ass person with a gun and a badge got the audacity to think he'd get away with beating down a woman. You know, no, I hate that. No. But she never got the opportunity to come for us to help her get out of town and stuff. I don't even know what happened to that situation, but never heard that person again or ever saw that person again. But that person worked at, I couldn't even say if that person's alive or dead or what. because we never seen or heard anything about that person again. I remember that at that time, my ex-wife tried to call her and stuff, but she wasn't answering her phone and stuff. So don't know what the hell happened to that person, that lady. But she got beat down by a police officer in Faribault, Minnesota, in the parking lot of Walmart. We couldn't believe it, man. I'm like, dude, hit me like that, man. Man, boy, oh boy, oh boy, man. These cops and these deputies get away with murder, man. And we got the same right to get away with murder. We got the same right to get away with murder because God says, and the law says, and the Constitution, right, says all men are created equal. Common law says all men are created equal, you know, and that's the bottom line, man. You know, and they worse in Minnesota, man. They try to, what they did on this police report, dude, is they took words from one video to put on this here and this repeat. Oh yeah, we'll use this because he said F you. He said I'll fight you, MF mother, this and that. So we'll get those words off of that video and put it in this report. This is what he said on this date. So we're looking at all of the dates that they claim, right? The dates don't match up whatsoever on the evidence. There was no probable cause to violate my constitutional rights. No probable cause whatsoever because there was never no threat to nobody. Was I mad? Oh yeah, I was mad. Yeah, I was mad. You denied me access to courts under my 14th Amendment, my First Amendment, and everything else. You denied me court access to be in front of something that I filed. I filed the motion. I filed the affidavit, which an affidavit has to be answered by all state and federal laws. An affidavit is a sworn testimony, and I put in there with the evidence that I have on my affidavit that my ex and her attorney committed perjury. So why is it in Minnesota these attorneys do not go to jail for perjury and helping with perjury with their clients? Why is that? And let's get one thing clear right now, people. Public defenders are not for you. They work for the state. They make maybe about $28.50 to $39.50 an hour. So they don't give a damn about you. Their duty, their loyalty is to the state. Their loyalty is to, that's all public defenders. Their loyalty is to the state. And this is how they violate your constitutional rights. You know, I ain't even asked for a public defender. You see? Didn't even ask for a public defender. You know? Didn't even ask for a public defender. And I'm removing this public defender because I'm going pro per. That's what I'm doing. I'm going pro per. And it's going to take about, I say 4 months. My trial is going to be 4 months because everything's coming. Every video I made is going to come out. And guess what? The constitutional right states I have a right to freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of expression. That's my First Amendment right. I can curse you out. I can say what the hell I want to say. Never threaten nobody. You see? Never threaten nobody. Never threaten nobody. You know? Never threaten nobody. And it pisses me off, man, how they switch words around and everything. So like when I first went in front of this judge, they brought a judge from another county, which I got to find out, you know, because I got to find out a lot of stuff about this judge, you know. First of all, of his jurisdiction, number one. Does he have jurisdiction over this? That's number one. That's the motion that's the motion I'm filing right now. Do you have jurisdiction? Personal knowledge, the works. Do you have an oath of office? I need a copy of your oath of office. So I'm doing all of this motion stuff right now. I'm doing all of this. You know, there's nothing on record that says that I signed anything for a public defender. You know, under duress, I turned myself in. They had plenty of time to get me in front of a judge that day. All right. Under duress, under duress, under duress, under duress, under duress, discrimination, 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 false charges is on everything that I signed. Everything that I signed. Conspiracy, discrimination, racism, racially profiled, everything that I signed. Everything that I signed. It's a shame. We have to wake up, man. We gotta start fighting back against all of this corruption, man. And they are the corrupted, crookedest Klansmen in the state of Minnesota. I only met one guy, man, and I was having a heart attack, and he came up, make sure that I was all right. It was a deputy. You know, he came up to make sure I was all right and stuff, and he helped me a lot. You know, I thank that deputy a lot because he didn't give a damn, man. What I mean is, he showed respect. You know, he didn't show like I was an animal or anything. He showed me respect, man. That's what that deputy did. That deputy, he didn't take nobody's side. He didn't give a damn about the warrant. He didn't give a damn about shit. He showed respect. And that right there shows the character of that one deputy. I don't even know his name. I know he got a beard, man. But I don't even, he looked like more like Grizzly Adams, man. That deputy looked more like Grizzly Adams. He do. That's what I told him. I said, man, I couldn't remember the guy's name that played Grizzly Adams, but he looks more like Grizzly Adams, man. This deputy looked more like Grizzly Adams, man. You know, and he showed humanity and respect. You know, that's what he showed to me. He didn't give a damn about no laws, no nothing. He showed respect, and that's what counts in everything, man. Is respect. Didn't give a damn. To me, he didn't give a fuck about what nationality I was or anything. He showed me nothing but respect. That I respect him for, you know. But you got some deputies that just don't got no damn sense, man. They shouldn't even have badges on. They should be locked up, man. You know, like we're looking up the two deputies that did this report, right? They never spoke to me. And they say that they tried to reach out to me. What, one time? You left one message, dude. One message. You left one message. The other deputy never heard from. It showed on a camera out there. It showed on the camera. You see the deputy's car, but the deputy's not out of the car. That's what it showed. It showed on all 4 cameras. You can see the deputy's car coming into the parking lot, but it doesn't show the deputy going to the door, nothing. So I don't know how the hell he passed the door or whatever, but whoever this other deputy is a liar too. Everything needs to be looked into him. See, they will. It says under perjury. What is perjury?
Here's the definition of perjury. The offense of willfully telling an untruth in a court after having taken an oath or affirmation.
Conspiracy.
Here's the definition of conspiracy. A secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful.
Divorce judge, this other judge, that lady judge supervisor, the prosecutor. That's what this is. Conspiracy, a federal offense or state offense?
Here is some information for federal conspiracy charges. According to federal law enforcement training centers, the general conspiracy statute provides a maximum punishment of not more than 5 years, as well as a fine up to $250,000 for a felony offense. For a misdemeanor offense, the maximum punishment cannot exceed the maximum possible punishment for the misdemeanor.
This person that keeps calling the police on me for hate, behind hate and conspiracy, she's supposed to be in jail. What's the penalty under hate crimes? What is a hate crime?
Here's the definition of hate crime. a crime, typically one involving violence, that is motivated by prejudice on the basis of ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or similar grounds.
Check this out. It goes from my ex-wife, our ex-friend, to the judges, to the prosecutor. These are all hate crimes. All hate crimes that they did to me because of the color of my skin. What is discrimination?
Here's the definition of discrimination: the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, age, sex, or disability.
Can't beat that. You can't beat that under no circumstances. You can't beat that under no circumstances. So I'm going to pick out my jury. There ain't going to be not one white person on the jury member. Not one. Because I got the constitutional right. See, it says I got the right to jurors of my peers. I don't drink. I don't mess with drugs. So it's got to be a jury of my peers. Okay? And there ain't gonna be no white people on my jury. And they will know if any of your family members are in law enforcement, you can't be on the jury member. If you date or are married to a cop or a deputy or a DA or a judge, you can't be on the jury member. That's against the law. You know? And if they lie and we find out later that they were married to a pig, cop, sheriff, deputy, or judge, they will go to prison. They will go to prison. See, so that's the bottom line. Oh man, I hate Minnesota, man. There's nothing nice about Minnesota. There's nothing nice about Minnesota whatsoever. You know, there's nothing nice about Minnesota, and these people need to be out of a job and put in prison. Point blank, man. Point blank. Discrimination, hate, retaliation, falsified police reports, falsified a warrant, false charges. All of this is not state. All of this is federal. This is why you violated my constitutional rights under the federal laws. And I'm coming after every one of y'all in federal court. And I got that right. I have that constitutional right to sue every one of you. I have that constitutional right. I have that constitutional right. That's my constitutional right to file a lawsuit. My constitutional right to have a fee waiver. But everyone showed discrimination because of my race, my disability, the works. So I'll be going under the Disability Act because I have that right. And again, I'll be recording everything in the courtroom because I have that right under the Disability Act. And I'll be getting someone from the disability office to help me. See? And that's the bottom line, man. I think it's going to be about 4 months of trial because I got people coming from different areas. You know, they said, nah, subpoena us, man. Subpoena us. We'll get out there, man. Subpoena us. Subpoena us. When you get back, subpoena us, man. We'll get out there. We will be witnesses to everything that they're saying because what you said on the internet has nothing to do with no threats, no nothing. And you know what? They're stupid. This is behind hate. Straight hate, discrimination. This person keeps calling the police. And the bad part is some agencies don't even want to talk to her no more. They tired of her. You know, they watch the videos and everything. This man did not do what she's saying. Why she is not locked up. Why she is not locked up for conspiracy, for hate. When you report a false crime, that's a hate against a religion, against a ethnic, against my race. And that's what you did. You keep calling these people. And I never forget what this one guy tells me, this one lady. She goes to me, Mr. Malillo, you gotta start fighting back, man. I said, I am, ma'am. No, this person has to go to jail. This is getting out of hand. You know, in the United States, in every state of the United States, you cannot run somebody's name 20, 40, 50, 60, 100, 275 times. You cannot do that. See, and the main question about this here is, how does she get my date of birth and stuff? She didn't get that from the police. She got that from my ex-wife. They was living together. My ex-wife even told me she moved in with her. I told the attorney, I said, she want to see me. I said, no, I don't want to see that bitch. I don't want to see her. Hell no. I'm divorcing her. What do I want to see her for? I don't want her in my life no more. She tried to give me AIDS. I don't want her in my life no more. And the law did not protect me. That's why I'm suing the state of Minnesota. The law was supposed to protect me from people like her. The law was supposed to protect me. This is how they deprive me of my constitutional rights. Because she's a woman, she attacked me. She intentionally stated she want me to die like her, get AIDS. She was supposed to have been locked up, but they didn't do nothing. One police department says she has to be charged. But like that police department agency said, one thing about Fairboat, man, I apologize, Mr. Malillo, but we don't have no jurisdiction over there. But we sending everything to the sheriff's department. She has to be charged because that's attempted murder on your life, man. She intentionally, knowingly tried to give you AIDS. I never forget what that officer told me. It's going to be hard because in Fairboat, we hear a lot that they lock up the guys before they lock up the women. They'll show comfort to your woman, sleep with your woman, and everything else, man. When she got drunk, and she said she gave sexual favors to this one deputy, I couldn't believe it. When I heard that out of her mouth when she was drunk that day, I told Terry Watkins, this attorney, he said, man, get that police report. Let's see what happened. Get that police report. Got the police report. The hospital rinsed my eyes out with this solution and stuff. Put me on this medicine so it's supposed to prevent you from getting AIDS. Put me on that medicine. Thank God I'm alive. Thank God I'm okay. But the bad part and the scary part, there's no telling if I will get it or not. That's the terrified part. And so they cleaned me up and stuff. They did my wounds and everything, and they took pictures and stuff, and we attached everything to the report to be filed for arrest warrant for her arrest. So they on the phone with the DA, and the DA go, where does he live? What's his address? Fairboat. Oh, we that's out of our jurisdiction, man. He's going to have to go down there to the fucking sheriffs, man. He's going to have to go down there to the deputies and deal with that there. So deputy sees the videos and everything, the assault and everything, and I said, well, let's do this. Let's switch this around. So if I grab her and she's holding on to the banister and I'm trying to throw her ass down the stairs and I'm beating on her, does that mean that I can get arrested? He says, yeah. So, okay, now put it back to where it's at. Why she's not arrested? See her spitting my face and everything and kicking me and stuff. You see me holding on to the banister. I'm not doing nothing to her. Just holding on. You see her bite me in the back of my neck. See her punch me. You see the blood. So why she's not locked up? That was probable cause, 1,000% of probable cause to have her locked up. Attempted murder on my life. Why? This is what the deputy told me. That's the second time my deputy told me this out of Faribault. Well, really, we really don't lock up women. You know, we really, unless the women try to hit us or something, and we really don't lock up the women for domestic violence. We lock up the guys, and especially if you're black, you go to jail in Minnesota, in Faribault, Minnesota. That came out of both deputies' mouths before. The deputy that caught me, the nigger, well, he hit me in the head while I was cuffed. Put my $200 in his pocket. It's crazy, man. And then you don't go by the laws. You don't go by the constitutional rights. And then y'all wonder why y'all getting sued. You know, I have a right to be free. I have a right to protect myself from all criminals that wear badges and guns, from all criminals, from all racist people. I have that constitutional right to protect myself against all racism. I have that constitutional right. I have a constitutional right to carry my gun. I have a constitutional right to own my guns. I have a constitutional right to everything that I want. The United States Superior Court already ruled the Second Amendment is guaranteed to anyone that's on parole, felony, or whatever you want to call them. They got the right to carry a weapon, own a weapon, protect their residents. They got their constitutional rights. They got their constitutional rights. They have that right. And no judges in the United States is taking that away from nobody, man. No judges, no federal, even the federal courts overturned the guy's conviction because he was a felony. I forgot what, I think it was Atlanta, Georgia, or somewhere. And the federal judge says, you know what? No, we're not going to violate nobody's constitutional rights no more, man. We're not going to. What they said is unconstitutional to deny this man the right to own a gun, and he's an ex-felon. He has a right by the Second Amendment to defend himself, his home, his family. He has that constitutional right. He has that constitutional right, you know? But who's mad about it? Oh, let me see the white law enforcement. But yet, why is it they got more rights than we do when they're not supposed to have more rights than we do? See, they get away with murder. They get away with planting evidence. They get away with all of that. All of that. I seen deputy out in, it was in Minnesota where this deputy finally got found guilty for planting evidence. He finally got found guilty for planting evidence. See, they was taking it to federal court, but he made a deal so he wouldn't go to federal prison to go to state prison. So he went to state prison for, I think, 4 or 5 years for planting evidence on a suspect. That's the only way law enforcement can get a case. Perjury, false evidence, false testimony, and planting evidence. See, judges go by what these idiots write. But you can always dispute what they write. You can always dispute what they write. But one thing a judge cannot do is go against the constitutional rights. Not in federal court, not in criminal court, nothing. A judge cannot go against the constitutional rights. And it states in the constitutional right, you can curse the judge out, you can curse the prosecutor out, you can curse the police out, say what the hell you want to say. The original constitutional right, 1776, protects me. Anything past 1776 is unconstitutional. You cannot rewrite the Constitution. And all of these Republicans are trying to do that. And some of these Democrats. But you know what's so funny, man? What really cracks me up, and I'm not going to lie about it. I really love it, though. All of those Republican women that voted for all of them laws against abortion and against the LGBT, with all of that. Well, some of them people are gay. They lost their rights. Some of them can't get abortion. They lost their rights. Your medical records are not private no more. You lost that right too. So when your kid go to another state to get an abortion, you can go to jail. So that's good. That's good. You see, that's good that they took away all women's rights. That's good. That's good. Now you got to come to Minnesota, take away all women's rights in Minnesota. Start putting women in jail for their lies. Start putting these judges in jail for their lies and their conspiracy. Yeah, now they got to hit Minnesota. That's good though. You know what? I don't feel sorry for them. They did it to themselves, man. Them Republicans did it to themselves, man. Them racist, discriminated Republicans, haters, did it to themselves, man. That one lady, it says treason. What is treason against the United States?
According to Constitution Annotated, Congress.gov, treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them, or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of 2 witnesses to the same overt act, or on confession in open court.
What is violation of your oath of office? Is that treason? Violation of oath of office is treason. Under the laws of the state, it is considered treason or a high crime betray the sworn oath of office. Treason, right there. Treason. Treason. I don't know if you see it. Treason. I'm going after them for violation of the oath of office too. Yeah, they cause treason. See, and it's funny how I forgot that lady's name, man, but she's a white lady. She hate blacks, and that Governor DeSantis, every one of those people right there, that's where a federal judge should order an arrest warrant for each and every one of them for violation of the constitutional right, because it says that Congress shall not violate the constitutional rights. Congress cannot pass no laws against the Constitutional Bill of Rights. But what every one of those Republicans did is committed treason against the United States and against the Constitutional Rights, Bill of Rights. Every one of them. And hate crime. Every one of those governors and those Republicans, senators, should be behind bars, waiting to be put to death by the laws and by the government of the constitutional rights. Every one of them. You got this one idiot saying the schools are not allowed to teach Black history. Wow, y'all people, you know what's so funny? I said this in 2020, April 2020. I said, they're going to come after y'all right now, and you gay people, you lesbians, y'all ain't got no rights no more. Y'all don't got no rights no more. Y'all, you women, y'all don't got no rights no more. If you gay, you got to be reported. The school got to report you to the law enforcement. Y'all don't got no rights no more. Y'all did that to yourselves. Nobody did that to you but yourselves. Y'all put those idiots in office. Y'all did that to yourselves. Every one of you Republican lovers did that to yourselves. So I don't feel sorry for none of y'all, man. My father, his father, his father's father, his father's father fought for the belief of freedom. The Bill of Rights, 1776. They fought for freedom. That's what they fought for. I'm not letting nobody take my freedom from me without a fight whatsoever. See, that's another thing, you know. We have a constitutional rights. No bail should be expunged on us. We're not supposed to be arrested and they violate that, I don't give a damn about the state constitutional rights. We're going by the original constitutional rights. You have to immediately be brought in front of magistrate. Immediately. They didn't do that with me. I don't give a fuck about what theirs is unconstitutional. The states is unconstitutional. The states got to follow the same laws as federal laws in the Constitution. They got to follow the same Constitution. They can make their own Constitution, but it's unconstitutional what they made. You know, people got to understand that, you know. And I couldn't believe this man tried to get me killed, to violate my freedom of speech and freedom of express. Violated me to access to the courts, violated my rights to file a lawsuit, violated all my rights, man. So this one court in Minnesota, I asked this judge, I sent the letter to this one judge, and I sent a copy of it to the Secretary of State of Minnesota, because these judges are violating the Constitution to sue, and also the clerks. So when they got back with me, they were looking and they said, "Did you know?" I said, so I got a letter back, and it stated that, did I spell the name right, et cetera, et cetera. So I called them up. And I said, yeah, I did. He said, could you take a picture of the name that's on the file? I said, well, if you look in the file, it's right there attached to the complaint, you know, and they're in violation of this right here by your own laws out there in Minnesota, where they have 5 days when you request a copy of the oath of office. They have 10 days if you request it by writing, and they passed it 5 days. This is already 3 weeks, and they refused to give me a copy of the oath of office. And so he goes, well, I guess it was the secretary, because she was very nice. She goes, well, Mr. Malilla, we don't have no record whatsoever of these individuals or this judge that has an oath of office. I said, well, if that's the case, then they got to be removed. Everything they said, what it says in your laws out there is every ruling that they made is void. Every rule that they made is void. For any rule that they made on any case is void automatically. I got the right to proceed with these lawsuits. You know, and they say, she says, yes, you do, Mr. Malillo. The appeals court already granted that. But we don't, but you should have got, I said, I did, but the court is not abiding by what the appeals court stated to these judges. I have a right to sue. I have a right to have the fee waiver granted. I have that constitutional rights. All right, what judge? I sent all of that out there to you on each complaint, on each judge, on each so-called judge, on each judge. You know, and that's another thing I want to tell y'all. In the Constitution, it says the state cannot be a victim. Habeas corpus got to be a person. And I said that in the court to that judge. The state cannot be a victim. There got to be a victim here. Who did I victimize? The state of Minnesota is a corporation. The state cannot be a victim. The state cannot be a victim in the Constitution. The state cannot be a victim, cannot bring charges against me. They have to have a victim. A habeas corpus, they have to have a victim. The state can, look, this is what they got to have to do. They got to say in the appeals court that King Henry owns the United States. That's what they have to say. Because King Henry did own the United States. It was under the ruling of King Henry. Okay? The United States got away from King Henry back in 18-something. All right? So for all royalties was going to the royal family of England, which it still is, by the way. from your tax dollars, all of that is still going there. No matter what, all of that is still going overseas to England, you know, and which taxes was never, there's no law about taxes. Let's get that clear right now. No judge can pull up any penal code or section about paying taxes because there's never been, Congress has never passed in no record of history about taxes. Look it up for yourselves. So anyway, the states, all states are corporations. A victim is a habeas corpus. A victim. There has to be a victim. The state cannot be a victim. That's in the Constitution. 1776. The state, people always think that the state could be a victim. No, the state cannot be a victim because the king has nothing to do with the United States no more since 1819. Okay? His ruling days, British days for the United States was gone. So the state cannot be a victim. A victim is a body. A victim is a habeas corpus. A victim. No state in the United States could be a victim under the constitutional rights. I even said that in court. I even told the judge, I went in front of him. I said, look, man, the state cannot be a victim. Got to have it has to be a habeas corpus, a body. The state is not a body. The state is an organization. The state is not a victim. The state is an object. The state is a corporation. You can sue the corporation. You know, you can sue the corporation. Period. The state cannot be a victim. People need to start challenging this in court. Stop letting them do what they want to do to you. The state is not a victim. For a victim, it states a habeas corpus, a person, a body. The state is not a body. The state of Minnesota is a corporation. That's what the state of Minnesota is, a corporation. The state cannot be a victim. Everybody think that the state can be a victim. No, the state cannot be a victim. It says it in your constitutional rights. And I told the judge right in front of that guy, you endangered my life, attempted murder on my life, and you put the state, I know nothing to the state of Minnesota. The state cannot be a victim. The state is a corporation. I did not commit no crime against the corporation. I'm not going to let you violate my constitutional rights, freedom of speech, and freedom of the press. That's just like a judge. There's no such thing as a judge if you look it up. Okay? They got a bar code. They're in a bar association. All right? Attorneys cannot be judges. That's what it also says in the statute and the constitutional rights about judges. All right? You got to look up the whole history about being a judge and where do they get their license. They are in a corporation where they pay their dues. And that's what it's all about. People got to stop letting these motherfuckers do what they want to do to you, man. You know, and let's be really clear here about it. One thing right here, when it says the jury of your peers. In other words, if you are African American, you got to have African American jury members on that bench. No whites, because you're not white. The only race you're supposed to have on that bench is your same color race, or Spanish, or Indian. By your peers. If you don't drink, they got to be alcohol free. If you don't smoke, they got to be smoke free. Jury of your peers is what it says in the constitutional rights. The same thing that you do in your life, they got to do the same thing. If you are parking enforcement, they got to work for parking enforcement. There's no way to switch the words around or nothing like that. None whatsoever. It states in the constitutional right, jury of your peers. If you are Spanish, they got to be all Spanish jury members, no whites. If you're Italian, they got to be all Italian jury members. No German, no French, none of that. Jury of your peers means your appearance, your ethnic, what you do. That's what jury of your peers mean. Read your constitutional rights. 14th Amendment states, unquote, quote, anyone that brandishes a firearm at you, which is any law enforcement officer, has to be charged with attempted murder. There's no law in the United States. The hell with their rules and regulations. The Superior Court already ruled all rules and regulations and codes are for government officials. They are not for abided citizens. They are not. All rules, codes, and regulations are for government officials. In other words, judges, DAs, prosecutors, city attorneys, and attorneys. All rules and regulations and codes are not for the abided citizen. The Superior Court in each state of the United States already ruled that. You know, I was forced and I signed under duress because this man had me locked up under false arrest, kidnap, attempted murder charges on me, false imprisonment, violated my 14th Amendment rights all the way down the line, man. Conspiracy, extortion, the works. The works. I'm not having it no more from nobody. From nobody. You know, and every judge that denied my feed waiver are now under investigation because they should be. And they shouldn't even be a judge, you know, because my feed waivers were granted by the appeals court. And they still denied my lawsuits. So now they the appeals court tells you what to do. You do not run shit. The appeals court tells you what to do. So now everything was sent to the United States, Washington, D.C., Superior Court. And my request to them is to grant my stuff and to have the judges removed from the bench for violation of my constitutional rights. And as I was told by this one attorney, he said, you know, the United States Superior Court is going to also require an investigation of these judges. I said, good, because they did violate your constitutional rights. The appellate court said they got to grant this no matter what. And they refuse. Who the hell did that judge think she is? Who the hell do them judges think they are, man? They can't deny. They got to go by what the appellate court said. But judges don't give a damn about what the appellate court. See, that's the funny thing about it, man. You know, like I told the attorney when he asked me about what happened with that other back then in 2020. I said, well, she didn't give a fuck about what the judge said in the papers, that she's responsible for all those medical bills, you know, and stuff, you know, but yet she got up there and she lied and she said she got the financial records from the sheriff's department, from the deputy at the courthouse. So the deputy, whoa. She said, what? I said, yeah, go pull those records up. So he pulled up he requested copies of the records. And they working on that there. The court has violated my privacy by releasing financial records. Not only did the court violate that, the court also, the deputies also violated that The deputies have no right, no deputy, no sheriff, no LAPD, no DBB, nobody has a right to give out your personal information. None of them do. None of them have no right to give out your financial information. None of them have the right to give out your driver's license information. None of them have the right to give out your social security number. That person got on that stand, stated that that's where she got that information from. But she didn't. She got that from my wife, because my ex-wife at the time was living with her. And she stated she hasn't seen or heard from my wife since 2012 and 13, which was also a lie, because she was coming by our residence. Not only that, but she was going out to drink with my wife. My wife was going over there drinking at her trailer park. Okay? Going there every night. And on her days off too. She was going over there drinking. Right? But I forgot, white people can commit perjury. White people can commit conspiracy. White people can commit false imprisonment. White people can commit identity theft. They broke into my online Social Security. Yeah, they hacked into that. The federal report was made, and they're still working on that there. And yeah, they hacked into my Social Security. So now you can't do nothing, because my ex-wife knows how to sign my name. She knows my Social Security number. She knows all of that information. We were married for 19 years, man. 18 to 19 years we were married, So she knows all of that information. I was shocked because I got hit by a car, and she was taking me back and forth to the hospital. And as a matter of fact, then I got sick from drinking some water out there in Minnesota. I got really sick. Found out that the water had black mold in it, And so she had to take me back and forth to the hospital. So she was signing my name. And so the doctor goes, "You could sign you as wife." I said, "Yes, she could sign my name." She signed my name the exact same way I signed mine. And I was shocked when she signed my signature, dude. Gave my Social Security number and everything. We were married for so many years. So she knows all of this. So I had to do a federal report because they hacked into the Social Security, my account, Social Security. And the Fed says that they can do that. Yeah. The Fed said that she got the right to hack into your Social Security, change all your information and all of that. That's what they said. So how the hell are you going after people that hacked into your computers when they just hacked into a federal government website? And y'all saying that's okay, that my ex-wife and her friend hacked into the Social Security Administration office. And that's a federal government agency. They sent me the report. Yeah, they sent me the report. They got the right to hack in the Social Security office website in Minnesota. They got that right to hack into any Social Security office website. That's what they say. So let me see. They get away with identity theft on me, ordered all of these credit cards, hacked into Wells Fargo Bank, tried to open up accounts. And they say it's okay because one is white and one is Korean. And they women. So in other words, the only person that you go for credit card theft and all of that shit are African-American people. But not white people in the state of Minnesota, not Koreans in the state of Minnesota. And you got some racist ass Koreans in Minnesota, man. Oh my God, you got some racist ass Koreans. But yet, you know what's so funny though? They'll call you the N-word and everything else, but they want to lay down in bed with us. Ain't that some funny shit? And it is so ironic. This one Korean girl that worked at this AutoZone, She hates anything look black. But her boyfriend that she has a child with is Mexican, right? And she talks so bad about Mexicans. It's so amazing how you get to know a person and they got a Mexican child, but they hate Mexicans. You have a black child, but you hate blacks. And you Korean. Wow. 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 I only met certain people. I met this one girl. She was real nice. And matter of fact, I happened to see her one day out there in Minnesota. And she go, "Oh man, your name's Shafiq." I says, "Yeah, I'm not racist, Shafiq." That's what she came up on me and said, "I'm not racist. I don't give a damn what a person is. You know, I'm not racist whatsoever. I'm white, but I'm not racist. I can't stand white people that are racist." And she's white. Her dad is funny than hell, man. Oh, he cracks me up every time I used to see him. And he cracked me up, man. One day some car was pulling down the driveway, man. And he's standing out there. "If you're white and a race motherfucker, get off my property because I will shoot you." Her dad is one hell of a man. He whiter than shit too, man. And he can't stand racist motherfuckers, man. He got his business, man, and he only hires Spanish and African Americans, man. He refused to hire anybody white. And he white himself. And he tells them, "I'm white. Now I got the right not to hire my kind. I don't give a damn about my kind. Do you want to be racist? Don't come around me with that shit." You know? And his wife, his wife is so awesome, man. His wife is so awesome. She told me one day, she said, "Shafiq, you getting real skinny, man." I said, "Yeah. It's hard times, man. Judge let the ex take all the money out of the bank and everything and said it's okay, to clean the bank accounts out, savings accounts out." And judge refused to order subpoenas that I asked for, of other accounts and stuff, and throws in my face, "This is a no-fault state." That don't mean a damn thing when it comes to financial records in a divorce, But the judge was white, though, And so when I said the judge's name, they knew her. They knew her. The mom went to school with her. Yeah, the mother, homegirl's mom went to school with this judge. And I'm like, are you kidding? Man, that judge is an alcoholic, a dope head, and everything else. What? Oh my God. What? We went to school. The dad knows the husband. They went to school together. I'm like, what? Isn't this a small world? I want to hear this, man. Yeah. Yeah. My divorce judge drinks. She drinks. She talks garbage when she drunk and everything else. She fights with her husband, and her husband fights with her. You know what's so ironic, man? You got these people with guns and sitting on the benches that commit spouse abuse, attempted murder, assaults, and they got the audacity to try to judge me. I was rolling when we saw how many police reports, investigations was done on a couple of deputies for spousal abuse, but yet they still carry a gun. Yeah, they still carry a gun and got a badge from both sexes, men and women. This one deputy female, she turned around and she hit her own child with the butt of her gun from a dispute, and she still got a gun, and she's still a deputy. Yeah. Couldn't believe it, man. Couldn't believe it whatsoever. Couldn't believe it whatsoever, man. They are the crooked. See, we are all human beings. People gotta understand that right now. Lowe says All men are created equal. No ifs and no buts. This person don't have more rights than you do. That person don't have more rights than you do. That's what the law says. And the law got to go by what the law says. If you can get away with killing an unarmed individual, that individual should get the same right to get away with killing you for self-defense. There's no ifs and no buts. Some of these courts already ruled that too. You got the right to defend yourself. If they pulling you out of your car, you got the right to defend yourself. Your car is your property. Your car is your castle. You got the right to defend yourself. You got the right to take that motherfucker's life out if you want to. You got that constitutional right. A lot of courts are doing that, man. A lot of courts. So you got some of these. See, I like some of these judges that go by the Constitution, man. Those are the best judges those judges I respect tremendously. Tremendously. Them judges deserve straight hands down and everything because they go by what the Constitution of Rights says. Then you got judges that don't give a damn about the Constitution of Rights. All they care about is their paycheck. Their 240-something thousand paycheck. That's all they care about. You know, I could tell you every judge's salary and everything, you know, and that's where you got to hit them at. It's violation of oath of office. Violation of oath of office. Hit them on a bond for that $248,000 that they make a month. Hit them on that, you know. Hit them on that. Hit them on that. Hit them on that, man. You got to hit them on their bonds now. The violation of their oath of office. You got to hit them on a violation of their oath of office. That's for every law enforcement, every DA, every city attorney, you know. And people got to understand, man. But you got some federal judges that are really tired, man. You got some federal judges are really tired. Now, the United States Superior Court judges in Washington D.C., every one of them need to be retired or moved out of office because they went from Roe versus Wade. They just went crazy, man. They went crazy, you know. And this one lady, where she manipulated the courts. And how does that sound so fucking familiar to me? Because my ex-wife manipulated the courts, manipulated the law enforcement, manipulated the judges. And now this woman, she was cool. She did it slick. She manipulated all five. How many United States Superior Court judges are there? I think 5 or 8, whatever. She manipulated all of them, all of those idiots. She made them all look like fools. That lady that won an appeal, a decision on her, she didn't want to make a birthday cake for a gay couple. She made every one of those judges look like jackasses on the United States Superior Court. What they supposed to done now was ordered an arrest, a warrant for her arrest, because she made every one of them look like fools on their decision, where they ruled in her favor. And yet that guy goes and says, wait a minute, I have never, she uses these people's names and everything. And that guy is fighting right now with his attorneys and all of those judges that ruled in her favor to be removed or investigated. See, judges should only be on the bench for maybe 4 to 5 to 6 years the most. That's it. Remove them after that. Remove them all. Remove them all. Remove them. Because she made every one of those United States Superior Court judges look like jackasses. Because she put in her appeal that this person was gay, and she could not make a cake for this person because this person was gay. That person never spoke with that woman. That individual never spoke with that woman, but she used his name. Now he's filing a lawsuit against her for defamation of character, which he has every right. Every guy in the United States, when they file false charges on you, we got the right to sue the women for defamation of character. We have that right to sue them for defamation of character. It is up to a jury. It is not up to no judge to decide on a lawsuit that is in violation of the Constitution. Once the jury comes out and grants you that lawsuit for $10 million, $20 million, $1 billion, $2 billion, no judge can overturn the decision of the jury. It's in the Constitution rights. It's in the Constitution of rights. We got the right to sue women just like they sue us. We got the same right, but she is going to be sued. Now she got to fight for defamation of character. She never told him nothing of the stuff what she put in her appeal. She made every one of those United States Superior Court judges look like jackasses. Every one of them. So now she got the right to deny any cake to anyone that's gay or lesbian. The damage that these white folks are doing to other people, other white folks, is tremendously dangerous. From the Republicans to some of these Democrats, you people voted those racist bastards in office. It's time to remove every one of them, from governors to judges. No one of them went for the constitutional rights. Every one of them committed treason against the United States and against the constitutional rights, Bill of Rights. Like that said, DeSanchez, he's supposed to be in federal prison waiting to be executed by a firing squad. He has caused treason, hate, the works, just the way they did with the Ku Klux Klan. That's what he is. That's what DeSanchez is, a Klansman. He is a master of the skies and the sheep's clothing. He's a Klansman. He's a Ku Klux Klan. I said it before, I'll say it again. High off Hitler. Every one of those white supremacist people are your governors. Every one of them that sits on Congress are white supremacist people involved with the Klansmen. Every one of them. Every one of them. Every one of those governors. Every one of them are Klansmen. And it shouldn't be that way whatsoever. It should not be that way whatsoever. But you people, don't start crying now because you lost, because your kids could get taken from you because you're gay. Your kids could get taken from you because you're a lesbian. Don't get mad now. Get mad with yourselves. Y'all did it to yourselves. Y'all did this to yourselves. Don't get mad at nobody. Get mad at yourself. You voted them in. What you gonna do? Election time is coming up. Vote them the hell out. Vote them out of office where they cannot run ever again. See, discrimination has no bearing in no courts, in no judges, in no prosecution, or in the United States, period. First of all, let's get one thing clear here right now. Every white person in the United States is not from the United States. Your ancestors are all from Europe. The United States was Indian land, Spanish land. The first person in the United States was an African-American pirate. Every invention you made that is made, those Lay's potato chips, African-American invented it. So whoever like Lay's, you better get on your hands and knees. Whoa. Y'all gonna get mad though, man, because every invention that you touch was made by an African-American slave, as you want to put it. White people are not from America. No such thing as America. No such thing. The British, Connolly, wiped out the Indians, killed them all, raped the women, killed the kids and the men, enslaved them. All white people came from Europe. There's no record whatsoever that white people were from America. None. That's why they're trying to wipe out the history of African Americans and Indians, man. This land belongs to the Indians and the Spanish. The whole country, the whole, whatever you want to call it, America. And that flag don't mean shit. My father, his father, his father's father, his father's father fought for freedom, not a flag. And that's not even the United States flag. You see? So you got to ask yourself, man, why is it the theme, the song, America is always with bombs and all of that, flying bullets and stuff? Because all they care about is one thing. We have never, there's no history in the United States, history books, where the United States ever won a war. We have started more wars over 70 years. We have caused wars, we have caused deaths and everything else, but never won a war. Vietnam War. You go into those people's backyard, you got your ass whipped. You got killed. They knew how to fight a war. Korean War. German War. We have lost more innocent lives from cousins, brothers, fathers, sisters in wars. And you know what's so funny? And what's even sick? Is our own government don't give a damn about us. That's been proven in the courts. That's been proven by Congress. So you gave your life up, your limbs up. Your father gave up his limbs in life. And Congress don't give a damn about you. You should be having you should be having so much hate right now to remove anyone out of office that is against your constitutional rights now. Congress said, fuck all veterans from all military, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Army. Your Congress don't give a damn about veterans because they don't give a damn about you. So don't talk to me about no damn flag no more. Because my father's, his father's father, his father's father fought in the wars for this lousy ass country that you so-call America. America ain't shit. America ain't shit. We have more corruption in government than any country in the world. Let me explain something to you idiots, man. Over there in Dubai, they just removed all corrupt governors and executed them. The same thing has to be in the United States. All crooked government officials were executed out there. They need to do the same thing in the United States. They need to do the same thing. Every corrupt politician needs to be put to death. Every corrupt politician needs to be put to death. No ifs and no buts. The United States caused wars for what that country has from their minerals and everything else. And then you got this guy here that's the president. You got this guy. He's talking about he wants to go at war with North Korea and China and all of this. Man, they will whoop our ass. So our military is not that big, dude. So don't put us up on this big ass pedestal because the United States is not up on this big ass pedestal, because once you fuck with those other countries and they got backup, we will get wiped the fuck out. And they got Russia on their side too. Come on, man. And every one of you idiots, you forget about one important thing. This is our world too. No one in office got the right to talk about a nuclear war. You have no right to talk about starting a nuclear war. This is our planet too. We live on this planet too. Y'all need to be executed. Y'all need to be put out of office in front of a firing squad because you violated every human right that is out there in this world. Any any governor, from any government, from any country talks about nuclear war, any president, any elected official, y'all need to be put to death. We live on this planet too, not just you. You are a selfish, inconsiderate son of a bitches. Y'all need to be put to death when you talk about nuclear wars. We live on this planet too. See, other countries are removing all of these corrupt government officials, man, and we should be doing the same thing. No billionaire should be donating money to pass laws for them. They have no business to even try to make up laws. See, laws are supposed to be made by the people. It's we the people that runs the government, not the government runs the people. We the people run the government. We the people pick their salary. You got these fucking Republicans up in their salary, close to 200 and something %. And yet we got more homeless, more starving, more suffering in the United States. Y'all some stupid son of a bitches out there in this world, in the United States. Y'all straight stupid. Y'all some straight stupid son of a bitches in the United States, man. We got more homeless in the United States and more prisons than any country in the world. We got to get rid of these pathetic, corrupted officials. We, the people, run the government, not the government runs us. We, the people, pass the laws. We, the people, vote on laws. It says it in the Constitution rights, man. All power is given to the people of the United States. We, the people, because the government will be corrupted if they took over. We, the people. That's right. I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a stupid motherfucker, man. Yeah, I'm stupid. I'm a house nigga. I'm a house boy. I'm a nigga. I'm stupid. You know, that's what they say. I'm stupid. You know, if I was so stupid, why is what I said in 2020 that they're going to remove all rights for gays and lesbians? And them are your Republicans. The Republicans took all women's rights away. So you get an abortion, you gay, you got to be reported. They got the right now. They passed a bill to go through your medical records. Don't get mad at me. So your medical records are not private no more. You see? Nah, your medical records are not private no more. No. And did you ever notice what you sign when you go to the hospital and they want you to sign that right there? Don't sign it no more. They got to see you no matter what. That's federal law. They got to see you. That's the constitutional right. You sick, you got to be seen. Don't sign no more documents at hospitals no more. You know why? You just signed over your right that they can sell your blood, your organs, and everything else. Small print. Yeah. Yeah. They got the right to do that because you signed that document. I haven't signed one of them documents in God knows how long, man. I don't sign nothing. You know, I don't sign nothing without under duress, under that my signature. You know, and yeah, I don't give a fuck. You a cop, deputy, judge, DA, prosecutor. I don't give a fuck what you are. Once you sign those medical records, once you sign whatever you sign in that hospital, they got a right to sell your organs if you die. They don't give a damn what you say. You signed. You gave them permission. You gave them permission, and you signed away all your rights. They can give away your medical information. They can share your medical information with third parties. They can do all of that. Now they can even post your medical information to the world. Yeah. Now the Republicans put a bill out that your medical records are not private no more. you lost your privacy. Yes. So we'll know now who got HIV. We'll know now who got syphilis, gonorrhea, how many sex partners you had, how many abortions you had, how many people you sleep with. We can know all of that now. Now all you gotta do is go on the internet, punch the person's name in, and look up their medical records. Yeah, Republicans already passed the bill on that. Your medical records are not private no more. Nobody's medical records in the United States is private no more. None. You gotta thank your Republicans. They did that to you. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the ones that did it to you, man. You know, some of you smart people, we got to start waking up, man, and get rid of all of these corrupt politicians, these corrupt judges, sheriffs, deputies, and police officers. We got to start fighting back for our rights. We the people. It's we the people. We the people make the law. We the people run the government. Government don't run us. We the people, what it says in the Constitution, right? We the people. You know, once they violate the oath of office, we, the people, have the right to sue them. We, the people, have a right to put a talk on their bond. We, the people, you know, and stay safe out there, man. And we got the right, without retaliation, without discrimination, without hate, to be left alone, you know. And I think that some people are going to have to wake up the hard way. Leave me the fuck alone. I got a right to say what I want to say. This is how hate and retaliation, like I said, this DA got on me, is disorderly conduct of my videos. And my First Amendment right is I can post and say whatever the hell I want to say. And I'm not letting you violate my constitutional rights under false charges. And that's what you did. You committed false charges for disorderly conduct when there's no such law of disorderly conduct for posting a video. And I'm gonna sue you. I'm taking you down, man. I'm taking you down in federal court. I'm gonna sue you. And I got that constitutional right because you fraud. You committed attempted murder on my life, false imprisonment, kidnapped, false charges, conspiracy, extortion, and the works. I'm you know what, man? I'm not taking this no more, man. I'm not taking this shit no more from nobody, man. You know, I'm fed up with this here. I'm really fed up. This person keeps fucking with me so much. These idiots, they know what they're doing. They know what she's doing. But because she's white, she can make false allegations against me, call every law enforcement in the state of Minnesota against me and on me. And they keep asking, some of these nice people keep asking the same thing. Like this one deputy, he goes, are they that stupid? They are really trying to violate your constitutional rights of what you say behind this person's word? I said, yeah. And you made this video on January 4th. Yep. January 4th. It was January 4th. January 3rd, got stuck in the snow, couldn't get to court, and they refused to give me a court date. Yeah, the clerk of the court, you know, they called and called and called. My phone was dead, so I didn't know that they left messages into the 4th. The 3rd, 1-3 was January 3rd. I was supposed to go to court. Got caught in a snowstorm. I slid off the snow. I got stuck in the snow. Snow was so high and stuff. I made the video January 4th. I made the video because our lights went out over there where up in Minnesota. The lights went out for a while, so we didn't have no electricity for a while and stuff, you know. And so I made a video on January 4th. I made a video, and I made a mistake and said January 3rd, but it was January 4th. The guys didn't bring my car until that evening, about 9 or 10, and he helped me get the snow from under the car and all of that stuff. And we thought the tire bent in, but it didn't. You know, he looked at the tires and all of that stuff and the axle for me and stuff. He says, nah, just a lot of snow under there, man. And he helped me dig all of that snow out and stuff. And then he sat it there and stuff, and it wouldn't start. So he said, wait till tomorrow, man. And then he goes, oh, man, dude, I know the people that pushes the snow over here. I'm like, what? He says, yeah, they'll push the snow away from your car, dude. You know, they'll push the snow and everything away from your car. Don't worry about that. They're good people. I said, okay, cool, man. You know, and so the next day, which was the 4th, they was moving the snow, and it was still snowing, and it was still windy over here. But they was moving the snow so we can get the cars in and out and stuff, which was pretty cool, man, you know. And then, yeah, it was January 4th that I made the video. It wasn't January 3rd. It was January 4th, because I was looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute, that was January 4th. I made the video, not 3rd. So I made a mistake by saying the date, but it was January 4th, because my phone did not charge all the way up like it was supposed to, because I was tired, man. I didn't feel good and nothing. And so the next day, when I turned my phone on, I got all of these messages and stuff, and it says January 4th, you know. It says recordings came in on the 5th, on the 3rd, but they updated to January 4th. So they was calling me, and they was talking to my answering service, and they kept acting like I was on the phone. You can hear them when the beep goes. You hear them talking real loud before you can hear the beep. You know, yeah, he's not on the phone. Yeah, okay, well, we got it. What can you do? Well. So you can't hear the beep, but you got to turn the volume up, and you hear the beep. And they start talking real loud so you don't hear the beep while they're leaving the messages. That's the tricks that they play at the courthouse. The clerks play at the courthouse, you know. So I know I was refused a court date. I was refused to appear in court. The judge, he refused to let me be in court. The guy judge refused to let me be in court. He refused my affidavit, which an affidavit is notarized, sworn testimony and affidavit is sworn testimony. That's the bottom line. They got to answer the affidavit. You know, that's the bottom line. They got to answer the affidavit. The affidavit just can't sit in the courtroom. They have to answer the affidavit. I have a right to have an answer to my affidavit. They can't do nothing. I have to be in court. So they deny me the access to courts. So that's in violation of my constitutional rights, federal laws now, because you deny me access to the courts when I have every right. Under the Disability Act, you deny me. Under the Disability Act, you deny me on my constitutional rights, you know, access to the courts. You know, you deny me court access, period, you know. And yeah, so every time I call down there, I need a new court date. You're not getting nothing. That's what the secretary, well, that's what the court clerk tells me. Then find out that none of the court clerks down there are even have a bond. Isn't that amazing? They are the crookedest court in that state, Minnesota. None of those clerks down there got a bond to be even messing with court papers. None of them. None of them have an oath of office on file. None of them do. None of them. So when homeboy looked it up and stuff, he says, man, you're right, man. We can't find no oath of office on file with these people that you named. You sure their names are right? I said, yeah, you can look it up for yourself, man. You know, you can look it up for themselves. So they looked it up, and they investigating that, and they trying to figure out how did they end up being working for the courts. Well, this person's mother works for the courts. So this is her daughter or daughter-in-law or her son's boyfriend or her son's girlfriend. And that's the way it is out there in that county. It's all family member operated. It's a big organization, big crime, big crooked organization in that courthouse. It's a big crime significant in the courthouse. And they talk about mafia. Shit. They ain't got nothing on mafia. Mafia ain't got nothing on them motherfuckers. That's a big ass corporation of criminals in that courthouse right there, man. You know, and they violate every federal laws and state laws, you know, and constitutional laws, you know, and they don't give a damn about what the appeals court said. Oh, hell no. They don't give two fucks about what the appeals court said. Appeals court said they notified them that you got the right to proceed in your lawsuit. They didn't give a fuck. Yeah. That's because it's a small little town, you know, but I'll be filing my motion to have that moved to federal court because these are all federal charges now, you know. This is a violation of my constitutional rights, and I don't want no superior court to hear a violation of my constitutional rights. It's federal, straight federal. Violation of my 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 14th, 17th, and 18th. Violation of my constitutional rights by law. So that's where I'm going with this, man. Yeah. Freedom of speech, freedom of the press. Yeah. Fraud, falsified a police report, falsified a warrant for my arrest. I'm even taking the judge down that signed the warrant. Did you know that a judge's signature has to be on a warrant? It can't be no rubber stamp. That's in the Constitution. It states that in the Constitution, 1776. A judge's signature has to be on every document. Every document. A judge's signature has to be, even the way the system, the people that invented the system where they just write their name, that hardware, that software states a judge's signature on all court documents. Their signature must be on the documents. They cannot use rubber stamp from our software. It says it right there. They cannot use a rubber stamp for our software. In other words, they cannot make a copy of their signature and put it on there. Their written signature has to be on the documents. So I was looking up one of these judges that signed something. This man been dead for over 15 years. So how is his information still in the system? No. He passed away in 2023? He passed away in 2019. So how is his information, his signature, still on documents if this judge passed away in 2019? Huh? How is his signature? How is the clerk of the courts making court rulings? How can a clerk of the, and nobody would answer me this question. How can, and it doesn't, you cannot find it nowhere. How can a clerk of the court make a court ruling? You are a clerk. You are not an attorney. You are not a judge. How is a clerk of the court making a court ruling? Every document I got from my divorce, the judge's signature is not on there. It's stamped. And it says, under no circumstances shall you rubber stamp any court documents. This software is not made for that. The judges have to sign their signature on that paper, because judges could be dead and you could be still putting judges' names on it. Yeah. Stop letting them try to take our rights away from us, man. We got to start fighting back against all of this corruption, from the police departments to the judges to the DAs. We got to start putting them in jail, man. We got to start seizing their information, seeing what kind of pornography, that's what it's called, pornography. That's a violation. You can't put pornography on the internet. We got to start going through their telephones. We got the right to search their phones. We got the right to know their bank account information. We have that right. We have that right. And they got to give that to us, because they told me that it was okay for them to steal my identity. It was okay for my ex and her friend for identity theft. So now I want their bank account information. I want their social security number. I want these judges' social security numbers, addresses, their phone numbers. I want all of that, so I can be a criminal and do the same thing that they said that it was okay for my ex-wife to do and her friend to do. You see? So I should have the same right as the white people have to get away with fraud, perjury, extortion, blackmail, murder. I should have the same right as the white people have and the women got. I should have the same right to get away with the same things. Regardless, the law says, the Constitutional Bill of Rights says, all men are created equal in common law, God's law, and the Constitution. All men are created equal. That's what it says. So I have a right to open up bank accounts with the judges' names on them, with the DA's names on them, because they said that it's okay for them to commit these felony crimes. It's okay to hack into the Social Security Administration computer, which is also a federal offense. I should have the same right. So y'all can't put nobody on trial for hacking into any damn computer when you did not arrest my ex-wife and her friend for hacking into online Social Security system. That's a federal offense. When you hack into the Social Security system and change everybody's information, that is a federal offense. Be safe, my good people. The ones that are not prejudiced, I love you. I don't know that deputy's name, but that was one hell of a deputy, man. He showed me respect as a human being, and I really appreciate that one deputy, man. He showed me respect as a human being, you know. And even when I turned myself in, they couldn't believe it. They go, wait. Don't these idiots know that there's no such thing as even the attorney said there's no such thing as disorderly conduct by posting a video. This is how much hate and discrimination that this DA got against me. Disorderly conduct. Where is the disorderly conduct? Where is that at? Where is the disorderly conduct? On video is a disorderly conduct. And it says in the Constitution rights, I got a right to post whatever the hell I want to post. First Amendment freedom of speech. See, that's why this is getting out of Superior Court. This is going to federal court. There's no ifs and no buts. This can't stay in Superior Court. This got to go straight to federal court because this is in violation of my constitutional rights. This Superior Court cannot hold this criminal case against me. It has to be in federal court. It has to be in federal court. See? It has to be in federal court. And believe it or not, federal judge gonna look at this like you that damn stupid. And you, how many other people have you lied and charged falsely accused of? How many other people, how many other people you falsely accused someone and put attempted murder on this man's life for violating of his freedom of speech and freedom of the press? You violated this man's constitutional rights. You endangered his life. You see that police officers and deputies are killing blacks and Mexican, or even if you look black, you're getting killed. That's attempted murder on my life. False warrant, false arrest. And the judge that signed the warrant is being filed against too. Because if he had any sense or she had any sense, she'll see this is in violation of my constitutional rights. They jumped the gun so much, so fast, to issue a warrant because of hate. Because I told her like it is. The judge allowed perjury in her courtroom. She allowed perjury evidence submitted. Even attorney Terry Watkins couldn't believe it. So wait a minute, didn't you tell her that you don't know nothing about this because this man never sent those documents to her? I said, I did not only say that to the judge, but on record, I stated I would open up my AOL account right now. Get me to a computer. Open up my AOL account. This man never sent me nothing. He never emailed me nothing. He never mailed me these documents. I should have the same right as this attorney has to represent my case. He emailed me nothing. Terry couldn't believe it that she went in his favor. And then he gets on this attorney testified. Well, she doesn't drink, Your Honor. I've been married to the woman for all of them years, man. That woman goes out drinking every damn weekend. She drinks beer, sake, suki, and wine. Then the other person says, well, can we do something to him? You know, I used to work in a prison, so he's guilty, okay? So let's just charge him with anything we can, okay? But I haven't seen his wife. I haven't seen them since 2012, 2009, 13, but yet she lived with him. She moved in with her ass on 5/7/2020. And she puts on her statement, signed statement. Signed criminal complaint. She has never seen us since 2012, 2013. She falsified a document My ex-wife moved in with her on 5/7/2020. Shows her helping her move my wife out the house with the help with the deputies. The deputies were her moving people. They put stuff in her car, in the deputy's car. They drove all the way out to another county, which they have no jurisdiction in no other county. No deputy has a jurisdiction in another county. No deputy can bring up shit from another county because they have no jurisdiction in another county. Gibbons, if they have a sheriff's department, they cannot vest their county. They cannot go to another county and chase you. They're out of their jurisdiction. The same with a police officer. Police officer can't go to another county, chase you through county lines. They cannot do that, And these two deputies was straight out of their jurisdiction. Number one, they never did an investigation because if they did, they knew this was in violation of my freedom of speech. Don't take words from here and here and here. I could say what the hell I want to say. Freedom of speech. The United States Superior Court already ruled that. I didn't threaten nobody. I told them straight out, I'm coming after y'all with a 1983 under the color of law for violating my constitutional rights. You hear that through all my videos. And the funny thing about it is when I filed my complaint against this judge, it states right there, I will be looking at a lawsuit for violation of my constitutional rights. You did not give me a fair trial. You showed racism, discrimination, violation of AD&A Act. That was in my complaint. So she already knew that she was going to be sued. She already knew that the federal lawsuit was coming. That judge already knew this. And this other judge didn't even give me a court date, refused to let me represent my information, hear my affidavit. I filed the divorce. I did not want to see her no more. I wanted a divorce from her, trying to kill me, try to intentionally give me HIV, AIDS, try to set me up, assault, abuse me. I got tired of it. I got tired of her lies. I got fed up with it all. I filed the divorce. It's just like with this other judge, Johnson in February. Okay, filed a motion. Got a copy of it too. Data was sent out and everything. Notarized and everything. Still didn't hear nothing about that motion. Didn't hear nothing about that motion. Records proved everything she put on her restraining order was a lie, was perjury. But women can commit perjury in the state of Minnesota. They got more rights and they shouldn't have. But so now this is what we do. We go after the state of Minnesota and the hope industry, you see, because you turned around. There was no evidence of a spousal abuse from me to her. Never abused my wife. I don't abuse women. I don't hit women. And I don't hurt nobody's kids. So when women get busted for cheating, and this is what happens. Get the hell out. Get the hell out of the house right now. Pack your shit and get the fuck out. She's wormed her way back in. If I can't come back in, I'm cleaning out the bank account. Shit. Fuck. My money and everything's gonna be gone now, man. Just forced her way back in the house. May 8th, 2020, cleaned out the bank account. $1.45 was in the bank account. $1.45. I had to take back the barbecue grill. That was $40-something, $20-something, I think. I still got the receipt. So they credit me that immediately because I had no money in the account. No money. She took everything. She took everything. She paid off her credit card bills and everything. Right there in the court, in the statements, right there. And the judge didn't even look at the statements. And this is how dirty these women are in the courthouses over there. They do everything for the favor of the woman, which those clerks went through the bank records, okay, which they had no authority to go through no bank records of anybody's account. That is none of their business. If you cannot show me an oath in office, you have no fucking right to go through my bank records. You have no right to go through no bank records. But they went through the bank records, you know, and it's like you could see that a woman did it because of the writing, you know. And I got copies of everything. And everything that the bank statement says right there, the bank managers want to get subpoenaed to the courts. And that's what I was trying to do. But I was refused that to prove that she switched everything by phone into another bank account, right? She did everything by phone. Everything. She did everything by phone. Everything has an IPS address. And so as they're looking at this, you know, and it's taking them days to find it, they finally found the accounts where she transferred all the money from Wells Fargo through a bank online. She transferred everything, thousands and thousands of dollars she transferred, you know, way before she cleaned out the bank account. She transferred everything online with this IPS address. I forgot the name of the bank, but it's, I forgot the name of the bank. Oh man, Orchard or something like that. But it's in the records though. So she transferred everything from the savings accounts to from other accounts, everything. Wells Fargo fraud department found all of that, man. They found all of that. She transferred everything to the bank, to an online bank account. And they found the IPS address. They figured that the IPS address would be gone, but it was in their system. They couldn't find it at first, but they finally found it. And it shows how much was transferred out of the Wells Fargo accounts. Even my money was transferred. So Social Security says, no, she owes you this, and the courts had no right to let her have that because that's not the court's decision. The court had no right to say she can keep that. The courts are in violation now of federal laws. The court had no right to say that she got the right to take your money. Regardless if you're married, you had a joint account. The court has no right to say she has the right to get anybody's disability money. That is not hers. That is under my account, my name. The court has no right to give her that under no circumstances. So she allowed her to commit not only bank fraud, but also let her clean out the bank account, leave $1.45. $1.45, I think it was. Yeah. And pay off all of her credit card bills. Credit cards I never knew she had. You see. And that judge let her do all of that. And it's a woman judge. A woman judge. I like I said, there was an African-American guy that was before me. And he had an attorney. She was white. And I liked his attorney. I really did, but I didn't have the money to pay her. You know? I wish I did. But man, and I never forget, this other lady attorney couldn't stand the judge. She could not stand the judge. I don't know if they went to school together or whatever, but they knew each other somehow because she just could not stand that judge. She hated that judge because that judge violated every ethnic code of conduct whatsoever. I'll never forget, she walked right past me one day. And we was at lunch. And I was on the elevator and she got on the elevator. At first, I didn't recognize who she was, you know. But then when she passed right past me, and I'm like, damn, man, that's a fine-ass lady, you know. Damn, man, she looked pretty in that outfit, man. You know, that's all I was saying to myself. And then all of a sudden, when I was called in, I'm like, holy shit, that's the judge. Oh, fuck, damn, I didn't realize that was the judge, man. I didn't even realize. But I got, if it wasn't for this judge, man, I wouldn't be learning my rights and my constitutional rights. Everything if it wasn't for the judge. But I gotta hand it to you, man. She is one fine white lady, though. She is fine, that's for sure, man. She need a little bit of meat on her bones, but she is beautiful, man. That's for sure. She is one beautiful lady, you know. And you know what gets me is though about this DA. He picks 4 videos, man. One of the videos was compromised. In other words, they try to cut something off one of the videos, right? So I'm looking at my YouTube. I'm looking at YouTube, and on one of the YouTubes videos that he presented wasn't right, you know. So this attorney, this public defender, he tried to have an excuse for it, and I'm looking at him like, man, shut the fuck up, dude. You don't correct nothing that I'm saying, man. I'm telling you the video was tampered with, and it was. The video was tampered with. And so I'm looking at the same video, and I'm comparing the videos that he claimed that he downloaded, and they're not the same. They are not the same. The videos are not the same. And they were so in a hurry to charge me on false charges. They didn't even understand what they got themselves into because they didn't care. They abused their authority to put a false warrant for my arrest, attempted murder on my life. That's what they did. They violated every federal and state law that you can think of, you know. All of them know each other. They all go to their kids' birthday parties, hockey games, and they all go out drinking. They all go out partying. They all smoke their dope and stuff. You know, they all know each other, man. And I never forget, I saw that same DA talking to the judge before, you know, and they laughing and joking, you know. And it burns me up how people got to understand something. The only thing your attorney's supposed to say to a judge, to a prosecutor, is you want to make a deal or what? Or leave me the fuck alone. That's it. You know? They're not supposed to be going out, drinking and partying together and stuff. And if they got a members club, they all in the same membership. They all in the same membership, man. You know? And understand, public defenders do not give a damn about you. Public defenders do not get paid to find you not guilty. They get paid to find you guilty, to make a deal. That's what they get paid for. They get paid $28.50 an hour to $39.50 an hour. They get paid to make a deal. And this is the crazy thing about you. They changed, they try to change, which they did, but it's unconstitutional because it says not attorney in the Constitution. It says lawyer representation. In the original Constitution, the courts have to supply you with legal constitution, with legal representation. They put the word in there, lawyer. No. You try to rewrite in the Constitution. Then they want you to pay for the public defender's office. No, you violated my constitutional rights, man. You violated my constitution. I don't pay shit. You falsely accused me of a crime I never committed. You violated my constitutional rights of freedom of speech and freedom of the press, man. You jeopardized my life. You committed attempted murder on my life. That's what you did. You know, and I was forced to sign a document under penalty of perjury. I was forced under duress. You had me locked up on a false charge. You endangered my life, all because of the color of my skin, racial profiling, discrimination. Peace out, people. Be safe, man.